Hey, before we get started, I wanted to let you know that I am launching my monthly program for the first time ever. We're calling it Lighten Your Load Practice. This is a monthly membership that's going to create a community where you can learn your human design, practice it in real time in low stakes ways, and start to bring in some of that more authentic you. Find out where you've been hiding behind things you've learned from the past and start really uncovering what is authentically you. How do you want to show up in the world? And how can you use your human design energy type to make sure that you have that vitality? Your energy is high, working with your personal process based on how you were uniquely created. Plus, we're going to dive into how to really listen to your body, to use your authority, your decision making style, so that you don't have to second guess yourself or wonder if you should have done something else. We're just going to live that strategy and authority that we always talk about with human design. And in this monthly membership, you'll have a couple of calls that you can come to and get real time individual and group support from me, and you have access to my monthly moon workshop, which is coming up in just a few days. It's the first Thursday of each month, bringing those virtually for this program. So when you come to that call, you can drop in just as a one-time check out a moon workshop with me, and that's $33. And the monthly special is $56. And if you join today, I launched last week a little special offer to those that were part of my masterclass. It ends today, Friday, the 31st. And basically, when you join the monthly program, you get your second month free. So if you want to try it on for $56, it's not 1 month, but two when you join by the end of July. So I would love to have you there, whether it be part of the moon workshop or for the entire month of August, as we start this community and help each other lighten your load without blowing up your life, and do it with just a true practice and have a little fun along the way as well. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. I can't wait to know what you think about this conversation that I had with Jackie this week. So here we go.
Welcome to Inspired by Design, the podcast where we explore the tools, stories, and insights to help you rediscover your authentic self and navigate life with less resistance. I'm Katie Rupert, a former hustle and grind overachiever on a thrilling and messy journey. I'd love to share what I'm learning and help others in self-discovery using human design. If you're seeking a way to move forward, let me be your weekly mindset coach and share stories to inspire you to action towards your unique purpose without the force or burnout.
Hello and welcome back. This is Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. And today I'm excited to introduce you to Jackie King. Jackie is the founder of Yana Healing and Balance and has spent more than 20 years helping people heal on every level: mind, body, and spirit. Beginning her career as an occupational therapist assistant, Jackie eventually followed a deeper calling into energy healing, and now is a licensed massage therapist, Usui Holy Fire Reiki master, certified emotion code, body code, belief code practitioner, sound healer, and genius biofeedback practitioner. Through her work, she helps clients release emotional blocks, reconnect with themselves, and create lasting transformation from the inside out. Thanks for being here, Jackie. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here.
Yay. Yes. So Jackie and I, we met through, actually, we were introduced to each other twice. The second time stuck, and we got together and had a little networking meeting, found out that we lived close together. And I've been very interested in lots of the things that you do, and you've really mastered a lot of them. So I was so excited to get to experience your belief code session. That was really profound, and share human design with you. By the way, listeners, Jackie is an emotional projector and she's 1-3 profile. So listen for that as we're chatting today. But Jackie, I just want you to talk to us a little bit about your story, who you are and what led you to where you are today, anything that you want to share.
Okay. So I am married. I've been married, seems like forever. I have three children, two daughters and a son, one little granddaughter. When my kids were young, I knew that I needed to go back to school, help out with bills, college education, that kind of thing. So I chose a career in what was of interest to me, which was healthcare. Wasn't anything that anybody in my family ever thought of doing, but it intrigued me. So I went back to school. I got my associates in applied science as an occupational therapist assistant. Was lucky enough to find a job right out of the gate in adult rehab in at St. Joe's in St. Charles. But even when I was in school and learning the Western medicine piece of it, I knew that something was stirring inside, that I wanted to learn something a little bit alternative. What is really underlying here? What's the real problem that's going on here to cause some of these other issues? So I got my degree, had the most wonderful boss in the entire world, allowed me to go back to school to get my education as a massage therapist, licensed, certified, all those wonderful things in massage therapy. And for many years, I did both. I worked full time as an OTA and then very part time as massage therapist. Along the way, decided that I wanted to learn a little bit more about energy healing, take a deeper dive into that. So I found a program that Dr. Bradley Nelson had put together with the emotion code, got the certification with that, went a level deeper with the body code. And then this last certification that I have is with the belief code. I think that is a little bit about my background.
Yeah, and
As far as that,
your dad played a role in getting you onto this path as
he
well.
did. He did. My dad, many years ago, my dad's been gone for several years. My dad had metastatic prostate cancer. It metastasized to his bone. So he had one summer that he was in the hospital pretty much all summer long. And I would go down to his physical therapy sessions with him and just watch what they were doing, just even to help him to stand in the parallel bars. And I was very inspired by what these girls did, the patience that they had, the professionalism, and it's something just clicked. I knew that then this is probably the path that I needed to be on. I was I always liked healthcare and seeing my dad go through all of this and then wanting to be a part of that. So that's what inspired me to go into the OTA program.
That's neat. And now, as you look back, I'm sure you see the connection. Healthcare, and then you get that confidence of, oh, I see how it can go even deeper to energy healing. So now that you've moved through this journey of healthcare and now beyond, which is, I still think it's healthcare, right? Is I know that it's more of a calling for you. Like, how did you make that shift? What drew you into energy work? Was it an experience you had or just more curiosity? What do you think?
I think it was more curiosity. And I think that every experience that we have, even career wise, builds on the next level. So everything that I have learned in my OT career has played a huge part, a huge role in what I do now. I think, though, it was more just wanting to dive a little bit deeper and finding out it wasn't, I love massage therapy, but I needed to do something more for myself, for my body, for my clients, because I think that everybody has something different that they're dealing with. Everybody heals a little bit differently. Everybody uses a specific set of tools in their healing process. So I do wear many hats in my practice, but everybody need something a little bit differently. When my clients come into my office, it's not just a massage that they get. It's not just a sound healing session. They get a little bit of Reiki. They always get essential oils. There's always a little bit of sound healing going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I can very much relate to that. And then the way I would almost word it is you will come in for one reason, but your study, the way that you've become an expert in all these fields as you go deeper, deeper, dive down the rabbit hole, like, oh, this works too. And this is like that. It's just filling up your toolkit so that when someone needs something that's a little different, you can just pull it right out. You don't have to refer them out. I feel that way about my yoga classes. And even with the sessions that I do, I'll bring in Reiki if I feel drawn to that. And I love that intuitive led idea. Just the more you know about energy work and energy healing, it does, you just kind of know what hat to put on or what tool to grab for. And I love that. I really do want to talk about the emotion code a little bit because I talk about it sometimes on the podcast. I talk about it as a tool that I've used pretty much just for me personally, but I've never had anyone that really knows what they're doing that's been certified to talk us through what it is and like how it works and why someone would want to consider doing a session or two with you. And I know some of them you require several to get a little deeper too. So tell us a little bit about that part of your practice.
Okay, so the emotion code is the first level in the energy healing work that I do. It's based on the premise that we're all energetic beings, even thoughts, emotions, beliefs are energy. When negative emotions are trapped in the body, and these are from traumatic events that happened in our past, it could be something that happened when we were in grade school, it could be junior high, it could be a divorce, death of a loved one, losing a job, whatever it is. All of those things have emotions attached to them. When we can't process those emotions at the time of the event, the emotions get stored in our body. It's negative energy. It brings our overall frequency down to a lower level. Then we start seeing signs and symptoms of illness. There's pain, there's discomfort, there's illness, dis-ease or disease. When we start to identify and release these negative emotions, however, then we start to see things turn around. Pain, I'm going to say, can decrease because I am not allowed to say that this is a healing tool. Pain can decrease, and the signs and symptoms that are associated with these diseases can start to disappear. So that's the emotion code. There's also heart wall emotions within all of this as well. And that is when our subconscious thinking that it's going to protect us from other negative events in our life, protect us from being hurt again. It's going to pull some of the energy from those emotions and build a wall surrounding our heart so that no negative energy can get in, right? But in the meantime, nothing can get in, nothing can get out. So relationships begin to struggle because what you're projecting, what you think you're projecting is love, gratitude, joy, comes out distorted because it's going through a wall of muck, negative energy. But you start releasing that, and then relationships start to improve. And physical function in the heart starts to improve as well.
Yeah. It's so neat. And I know it to some listeners and maybe that sounds crazy. What are you talking about? And I think I would have been like that as well. I started learning a little bit about the emotion. I just read the book Emotion Code, which I would recommend. I think it's fascinating. They talked about muscle testing, and there's so much of science that supports now some of these things that feel like magic or like, that sounds crazy. And there's a junction. I think the emotion coded And body code is a really good example of where there's a little crossover, right? Because muscle testing is a legit thing that people do, right?
It
And
is.
that's more accepted, legit, is if you will. That's not what I mean, but it is more accepted out there in the
There's
general population.
more people using it. A lot of chiropractors use it to test for different, I'm going to say, dysfunctions in the body, different situations that are going on in the body. They'll use muscle testing.
Yeah,
So,
it proves things like if I don't know, I've seen examples where someone holds their arm out and when they say their name, their arm is strong. But if they say, I am, and it's not their name, then their arm will move down. And it's where our strength comes from our truth. Our strength comes from our body, like being aligned. And I think it was just fascinating to me. I had to play around with it myself, but
and it's a matter of we ask the subconscious yes or no questions and we can get an accurate answer. So
yeah.
it's a lie detector test.
Yes, exactly. That's what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
And we are good at telling ourselves lies, or we think we're telling ourselves limiting beliefs. So, a couple of interesting ones just from a personal story. And if you have any stories that you can change the names and tell us that you would be willing to share, the ones that really stick out to me are things like emotions that got trapped when I was really young, before I really understood with reasoning and had grown up enough to have enough experiences. They say are what we know is what shapes our perspective. And so we can make guesses or jumps. So things like stored grief or anger from when I was a kid, or confusion, even, right? Mom said this, but did that, potentially, something like that. And it would say, I need to release this trapped emotion from 4 years old or a younger, older, right? And I thought that was so fascinating. And just acknowledging that a child, when I was 4, it almost feels like inner child work to me. And acknowledging this kid didn't understand, and so they held on or believed what they could or what they thought was truth. And now we get to let that go by acknowledging it in a way.
And a couple things on in response to that. When I'm doing emotion code sessions with clients, I will ask if there are childhood emotions from the ages of 0 to 7, because it's our personality that develops at age 7, right? So before then, we have some of these things that we really don't understand. So those emotions get trapped very easily. And many times there are 6, 7, 8 different childhood emotions that need to be released. Okay. The other thing is that many times we come into this world with trapped emotions. Many times it's generational, things that we picked up from mom or dad, grandparents, and it can go back 10, 15 generations. And when that's released, it's released from you, the client, and all of those generations back. And we can also test to see if that emotion was passed to our children as well. So when the release is done, it releases from everybody, which is really a magical thing.
Yeah, powerful. And it's such an empowering thing to acknowledge and say, we don't need this anymore. We're letting this go.
Exactly.
The other one that I thought was really profound, I had never had the belief code session before, and I don't remember the specifics, but just as an example, there was something about a limiting belief that I was carrying along with me from being married, raised a certain way, having certain expectations, and acknowledging, oh, I'm carrying along this belief that I'm lesser than because I am not married anymore. So, like something along those lines. That's not exactly what we came up with, but I just remember it being really powerful to acknowledge, oh, if I'm carrying that belief, and it says that I was letting that go, acknowledging that's something that I could be carrying, even subconsciously, that letting that go gives me this new opportunity to choose something new to believe or to make space for what's to come without being attached to an outcome and creating new supportive beliefs instead of limiting them. So it really is it was a neat experience that I definitely would recommend. And I would love to know from you if you have any stories about people that have been through these sessions, or maybe even other things like your Reiki, either surprising transformations or stories that you're like, wow, I loved that I got to be part of that as a practitioner.
I love the work that I do now. I think that the occupational therapy work that I did years ago was very rewarding. And I'm not that person to be in Western medicine anymore. It's not me anymore. I love the work that I do. Most of the time, it's not work at all. As far as profound stories from clients, I've got a gal that drives quite a distance to see me once a month for sound healing sessions. And she gets on my table, and it's like I strike the first bowl and she is out like a light. And the only time she comes to is when she has to rotate so that I can work on the front of her body, because the sessions I do are with bowls on my client. So that's, I love that. When my clients can absolutely relax, it makes my work much easier. Profound story with emotion code. One of the gals that will only see me for massage therapy, she won't see any other massage therapist. I convinced her that she needed to do emotion code, and she did. Rough relationship with her mom. The very first emotion that we identified and released, even before we released it, she was in tears. She's like, yep, that's it. Hit the nail on the head with that particular emotion. I don't remember what the emotion was, but she was in tears before she could even tell me what the situation was. So very powerful. It's not me doing this, it's work coming through me. I'm just the messenger. I just work here, kind of thing. It's that divine healing. Body code clients. I've got a gal that's been with me for a while. When she first started, wow, a lot of challenges in her past, and with everything she was going through right now, we've done several sessions of body code and released a lot of generational things. We're to that piece of the onion in her healing process where we're getting at the very center of it all. Released some curses, some saboteurs, entities that had been attached to her from generations before. And she's to a point now where she's happier. When I talk to her, she's happier. She's more confident. She's got a significant relationship. We release all that negative junk, and it allows more positive to come in.
Yeah. Yeah. I love watching clients have transformation right before your eyes. And a lot of times it's just about them being willing to do the work and step in, because it's not something with energy healing, like you do the work, you have to hold the space, but it's not in the same way. It's like, it's usually gentle. It's usually, wow, looking back, I just had to focus on taking care of myself. I mean, I don't know, but it really is profound how it feels like you're not doing much. For example, receiving someone playing music for you, right? Or bowls or whatever the session is. But me personally, from before I started practicing emotion code or sound healing, or even yoga, honestly, I was just so tightly wound. Like I need to do things a certain way. It was an anxiety feeling in my body more than anything. And I really haven't changed anything else. I'm still working, a high achiever. I like to, win, whatever. I'm still my bubbly self. I didn't have to force any change, but just letting go made space for me to not have to hold on to so much and keep it. I had one gal explain it to me like I was always trying to catalog everything I've been through and all the things that I figured out and just keep it like focus on making sure I don't forget anything that I already learned. And all of my energy was going into like cataloging and not forgetting instead of just experiencing life. And so things like the emotion code and just energy work in general, sound healing, I experience so much less anxiety and I just show up with a little more relaxed breath, a little more ease or peace. So, have you had anything like how do you explain to someone how energy work has helped you?
Um, you have to start by first explaining to people that we're all energetic beings. Everything around us is energy, because a lot of people don't even get that part of it. But as far as how it's helped me in letting go of a lot of the things that no longer serve me, if I had not stepped into this role on a full-time basis, I don't know if I would still be here, truthfully, because the stress of my other job was getting that bad.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, but that was the role that I was in, and it wasn't worth it to me. I saw that I needed to make some changes, and I did. I started taking care of myself as well, because that whole self-care piece is self-love, right?
Yeah, good. I want to leave listeners with something they can try that they can do. If someone wanted to, let's say they're feeling very stuck and they're not sure where to start, you've got all these tools, I've got all these tools. What would you encourage someone as far as that first step to seeing if energy work is for them? What would you suggest, or how would you help them decide that?
A lot of times people will call and we'll have a conversation and just do what's called a discovery session. And I can explain a little bit more about each of those: emotion code, body code, belief code. They have a chance to tell me what's going on in their life, how these physical things are holding them back, or these emotional things are holding them back. And then what does it look like if they no longer had those things? What does it allow you to do? Most people want to get rid of all that garbage. It allows you to have a happy relationship, or less stress in your life, no pain, whatever it might be. The other thing, the simplest thing to do is, besides that, is to start with emotion code. It is the simplest technique
Yeah.
that I do in the energy realm.
Yeah. And you do your sessions mostly via Zoom or online, correct?
They can be Zoom, they can be just over the phone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's easy.
Yeah. Good. And even if someone didn't book a session, right? What would you give advice wise to start paying attention to the body and how it's trying to communicate? Is there anything that you'd advise people to do on their own to start tuning in to their body in a different way?
To listen to all of those little messages that the body is sending you, the pain that you're having, the sleepless nights, restlessness, stress. Your body's trying to tell you something. So slow down enough. Try some breathing exercises. Just I do this on myself all the time. Just take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and exhale. Because we all go through life, we don't even know that our shoulders are up at our ears.
Yeah.
Just sometimes taking a nice deep breath is enough to calm you down just for a minute and let you refocus. I encourage all my clients to meditate. Just having even 5 minutes 10 if you can do it, to yourself. Tune in to where you're at right now and just be. Yoga, that's a great thing for stretching body, meridians, muscles, all those good things. Salt baths.
Yeah.
There's so many things, so many easy things that people can do. And it's just listening to your body and taking those steps that you need to take.
Yeah. And that key of just let yourself slow down enough to notice, right?
It's a pretty rushed world right now, and it is hard to slow down.
Okay. Well, gosh, you do so much and you have so many expertise. So, is there anything else that you wish people just knew about some of the things that you offer? Anything else you want to share about your work, your practice, or even just lessons that you've learned along your 20 years of experience?
That healing is a journey and it doesn't come overnight. Be patient. Be patient with the process, with the progress that you're making. I think you alluded to this a little bit before, is when you look at where you're at right now and you think that you're not making progress, think about how things were 5 years ago or 1 year ago and 10 years ago. And then you're going to see that dramatic change.
Yeah.
So,
It happens right before your eyes, just like children
yes.
growing. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. What's next for you and Yana Healing and Balance? What's coming up next in your world?
So there's a workshop that I'm doing with a friend of mine, a friend slash neighbor. It's August the 8th, 10 o'clock. It'll be in Wentzville. It is called Elevate Your Frequency and Allow the Divine In. I will be talking about a lot of the emotional pieces of it and how thoughts and emotions are so powerful in the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto. We're going to do some belly button healing, oils in the belly button. And then I'm going to talk about emotion code, body code, belief code, do a group release with emotions. My friend will be talking about divine healing and doing a little piece with that as well. And then she's going to talk about another thing that she does called Psych K. It's on Facebook in the events. Very inexpensive. It's about 3 hours. It's only $49. So it's a nice way to spend a Saturday. Add some more tools to your toolbox.
I love that. And then they can meet you in person. I love that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Good. I am so grateful for you being willing to come on and share some of your expertise. I know you're doing such good work in our area, but also you're able to really expand beyond for anyone that's not in the Westplex area in St. Louis. Something that I like to do at the end of every episode is just have you, as an intuitive, someone that's been on this healing journey, just take a minute, as long as you need, a couple of breaths, and just see if there's anything left in there unsaid, any wisdom, any thoughts, anything that we've missed, or a message for our listeners today. It does not have to relate to anything that we've talked about.
I appreciate you, ma'am. This has been a wonderful opportunity for me to share some of the things that I do. And I appreciate clients when they are willing to start this process of energy healing. It's not always an easy thing. A lot of times people think that they don't have the emotional baggage going on, but we all do. All the work I've done on myself, I've got baggage still that needs to be addressed. We all do. The work is gentle. If you decide that you want to have a discovery call, I'm happy to talk with you. And there is a special pricing for people that have listened to this podcast.
Ooh, that's exciting. Fantastic. Thanks, Jackie. I love
You're
it.
welcome. Thank you.
All right. I think that wraps us up for today. Thank you so much for listening to the end of this episode. Like Jackie said, we'll have some links, a discount. I'd love for you to join her at that workshop. So I'll put all of that information in the show notes and hers if you need to reach out personally. And I guess until next time, go and find something that inspires you to action and take that next right step for you. Bye. Have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in to Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your takeaways, subscribe, or even leave a review to help others find the show. For more tools and insights, visit my free Facebook group. And until next time, keep embracing exactly who you are and move forward one inspired action at a time.